Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, hello, hello. So, I'm combining Married to Medicine Part 1 and Part 2. Okay. From what I remember from Married to Medicine Part 1, it was just a montage first when everyone first arrived. They spent about 5 or 10 minutes. And to everyone's surprise and this may possibly, Jackie and Simone are not sharing a dressing room. Hmm. Did y'all know they weren't sharing a dressing room? Did y'all know that? Hey, so they mad at each other. And maybe it's petty, maybe it's not petty. I don't know. I mean, because my thing is, I think I understand Simone's point of view. And the thing about it is, if Jackie not gonna stand up for her after a 20+ year friendship, then what is Jackie standing for? Okay, so they ain't sharing the dressing room. Everybody else, they they all just feeling good and all this stuff. So we get to the get down, and so from what I remember, because I took notes and they were on this computer, but I took them off because I had already recorded an hour-long video for the first part, but it got banned or whatever because I was doing live screen recordings and stuff like that. But all it is I remember what happened, and what was happening was a load of nothing. So you know how the women be arguing and going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Okay. And it started with Toya and Eugene, I believe, and then Mimi and Steve, mhm, talking about that Med Gala. And who said, did you say that, did Eugene tell Steve that they was going to have to pay for the Med Gala this year? Steve said that nobody mentioned anything to him. I said, okay, Steve, don't act like a bitch now, okay? And Eugene say yes, he did. Eugene said he told Steve. Steve said he didn't. Okay. Whole point is Steve didn't want to pay. And it was just $350. And I'm like, you big money. Go ahead and pay the $350 so you and your wife can get in. And then what Simone said is she bought 10 tickets. So she definitely did her due diligence and all that. So there you go. And then it just was a back and forth. I'm like, but Steve, he said, I guess Steve thought that because in the past, last Met Gala, Jackie, the previous two, Jackie didn't tell people that they needed a ticket. What Jackie told them was just donate, donate, donate. Okay, well, that's not this time, like Eugene said. That ain't this time, Steve. Okay, so you're going to have to pay. You're gonna have to pay $350, both 150 for you, 150 for your wife. Okay. He ain't want to do it. He's sitting up there talking about he bought some plates and he donated and he said that now. I remember, I hope y'all remember when Steve sat there and said that back in Africa, he said, well, he don't donate. He ain't gonna donate. He out. He out because he said that he got scholarships that he gonna go ahead and put his money towards. That's what he said now. Okay. So I'm like, shut the hell up, Steve, please. Don't nobody have time for this shit. Okay. So from them, we get to Quad and Dr. Curtis. Because Curtis sat out of his rabbit ass mouth and said that, well, her and King They're not married. So they're sitting up there trying to have IVF. And the reason why the IVF didn't take is because they didn't do it right. And I'm like, but mind you, nigga, excuse me, your wife is the person that was overseeing the IVF. So I'm like, is you fucking crazy or is you slow? Okay. Talk to your wife. Okay. Off of that real quick. And then we get to Mimi and how she was feeling about Toya and this and that, irrelevant. Then we get to Simone and Jackie. And the whole point for Simone and Jackie was Simone said that she can't rock with Jackie because Jackie will not admit that did not, that Heavenly lied on her. I'm like, yeah, girl, because after a 20 plus year friendship, you and Simone already had prior to. I don't think Simone want her to be friends with Heavenly. And I don't call her Heavenly, I call her Definitely. Okay? So I wouldn't want to be friends with her neither. Because it's like, for what? She ain't bringing nothing. She a dentist. She don't know nothing about the medical field and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, girl, y'all finna give me a headache. And then towards the end, they bring out Brandy. And then they bring out Brandy and Angel. And Angel just was pretty much saying that some of the people in the comments were saying, how does a reality star become a doctor? And I'm like, no, she's not a doctor. She's a nurse. And then she said to answer to the person's dismay, what she did was had to make sure that she had all of her skills in line to go ahead and do what she needed to do. hmm And I'm like, I like Angel, excuse me, because she came from Basketball Wives. But I like Angel. I like Brandy too. And Brandy and Contessa was having a squabble back and forth about that damn party. And then Contessa did act a goddamn fool. And she did sit there and say that, well, I've never had a party. I've never had a party. I'm like, Contessa, shut the hell up, girl. Because we all know that your husband do you any kind of way, and we all know that. Okay. And we're gonna quickly get our first part. That was the first part. It wasn't a whole lot going on and wasn't nothing getting accomplished or nothing like that. And Simone told Jackie that if she can't admit to her, and if she can't admit on camera that she didn't do nothing to Heavenly physically, because Heavenly was the one that put her arm around Simone's neck. And she was just like, hey girl, like they was all cool and shit like that. And she said she didn't push her. And then we had to get quiet to admit and say that no, she did not push her. And everybody on the couch was saying that she didn't push her. And then it's like he rolled the footage back and she didn't push her. And that was the whole point. And I'm like, girl, quit playing. And she told her that it shows her how she feel about her if she not gonna be able to admit on camera. And she said, as a doctor, it's legal stuff that'll happen if I'm fighting with anybody. And I'm like, Jackie, are you crazy? Are you slow or are you dumb, bitch? She just wouldn't admit. Okay, gracefully next off of that the first part. Second part, it was Jackie and Simone, and they still was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they finally squashed it, y'all. And they hugged it out, which we knew they was. Okay. And Dr. Jackie, she admitted, and she admitted that she was wrong and stuff like that. And they just hugged it out. And I said, okay, that's how we need to do it. And Jackie asked Simone, Jackie asked Simone to follow her again on Instagram. And then Quad said, Simone, take out your phone and follow Jackie again on Instagram. And I said, oh, ain't they cute? They grown people now, remember. They have careers. They're doctors. Okay, gracefully next. And then it starts with Devonly And it's about how it's like she is a dentist and she has already been proven to be a liar. And y'all know she a liar. And she be being a liar for clout, is what I'm seeing. Okay. And then when she starts, it's like when she starts shit, then she talks about how nurses and doctors and she just be saying a whole bunch of irrelevant ass shit. And Contessa said being sexually, here we get to Contessa, and she said being sexually active, and it is if that y'all gonna be sexually active down in Atlanta, y'all need to be on prep. Then the men are up next. They ready to come out, and they was looking at it in the background, on the camera in the background. Okay, so we start with Eugene and Curtis, and they are going back and forth like they was back in the back, and they going back and forth about him admitting that that he pulled Toya on his lap. And we all know that not Eugene, we all know that Curtis Freakers then sat up there and pulled Toya on his lap. And they didn't show the footage and they just showed it on camera several times. So I'm like, we all know that. Okay. All right. And then the thing about it is, I'm like, if he gonna admit, then he gonna admit, but he don't have to admit because we have seen it, Eugene. Lay off of it, okay? But it had, like I said, it's been shown on the show several times, and Curtis says that he does not take accountability. He now Curtis jumped off him, and he gonna tell Eugene that he don't like how Eugene don't take accountability for his wife's actions. But I'm like, nigga, you don't take accountability for your own goddamn actions. Hello. Then Dr. Damon has to take the heat for his wife's reckless all the time. We getting back to Dr. Damon, and he always has to take the heat for his wife's reckless behavior and reckless mouth at all times. I told y'all I'm gonna be moving through this. It wasn't much being said and gracefully next. So that's just what was going on and all this stuff. You know how Dr. Damon be. He be looking like, yeah, she. Well, buddy, because he called his wife buddy, y'all. Okay. Gracefully next. And then Curtis now, oh bald head ass, gonna sit up there and say that he apologizes on behalf of words to Quad and King, of his words to Quad and King. Because remember, Jackie said that he needed to address and say he apologized to them and do not say that and stop saying shit like that, right? And he gonna say, so I hate when people say that he apologizes on behalf of his words if he offended him about the IVF journey, right? And I'm like, King is not there. So he said that he did not know. I'm like, Curtis, shut the fuck up. Yes, the fuck you did. And I think he should have never opened his trap about it at all, just to settle there. If you don't open your damn big ass mouth, then you won't have shit to apologize for on behalf if I offended you, if I didn't offend you. Gracefully next. And but last part, y'all. But Steve and Eugene, they still going back and forth about them damn tickets, y'all. So much confusion. I know it could be a lot of confusion about them damn tickets, but this is what I understood from it all. Toya said the first year Jackie was hosting. I think I already told y'all. And the second year, Jackie was hosting, and she just told them for the first year, just donate. For the second year, just donate. Then that's why Toya took the approach that she took the third year, and as well as the ladies, all of them sitting up there trying to just put Toya to the test and see if she can handle the pressure and shit like that. Grown ass women trying to see and teach her a lesson. I'm like, okay. Ugh. And she did good, and they didn't want her to do good. And when she did good, then it kind of threw them off like, oh shit, she did good. She did the damn thing. And they had to come up in there and just say that you did good. But they still was over there talking shit. But she still did the damn thing. The only people that had a grievance or issue with it was Steve and Mimi, right? And then the ladies, they said, well, Toya, she don't want to do nothing. She just want our money. She don't know how to plan nothing. She just want our money. And I'm like, okay, shut the hell up, y'all. And then Andy asks, why is it so hard to host events amongst this group? And my thoughts that some feathers have been ruffled among Steve and Eugene. And it's definitely new, tough blood in Mimi and Steve. And I'm seeing the men, normally are, even tone and cool. But this the first time they all done came out they damn bag and all that shit. So all I gotta say is it was a good part one and part two. And I'm glad that the Married to Medicine is over, so we can bring some more drama and shit. Cause I'm gonna be doing love and hip hop. Continue that tomorrow night, and then I'm gonna do when Housewives of Atlanta come back. My girl K Michelle gonna be on there, and I'm gonna be ready. I hope y'all gonna be ready. And I want y'all to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, like it says on the left hand screen. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to be a part of the Jazzy fam, y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed day. And have a good one. Bye.